Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. Breaking news, Capital One has merged with Discover. They bought them for an estimated $35.3 billion. And in this video, I am going to talk about what that will look like and the impact it will have on consumers. Let's get into it. On February 19, 2024, Capital One announced that it would acquire Discover in an all-stock transaction worth $35.3 billion. Now, both companies are amongst the largest credit card issuers in the country, while Capital One is the 9th largest bank in the US. That piqued my interest to thinking, so what are the top 10 banks in the United States? So I looked that up, and number 1 is JP Morgan Chase. Number 2 is Bank of America. Number 3 is Citibank. Number 4 is Wells Fargo. 5 is US Bank. 6 is Goldman Sachs. 7 is PNC Bank. 8 is Truist Bank, which is one I have not heard of before. 9 is Capital One, and then 10 is TD Bank. Now, TD Bank was associated with TD Ameritrade, which was a brokerage and investments software. And I don't know if you knew, but TD Ameritrade also got bought out by Charles Schwab. So Charles Schwab acquired all of their investment and brokerage accounts. So Capital One hasn't finalized the deal just yet. It is still in the works, so customers won't see a change in the near future, but later on down the line you may see some changes. Now, how will the merger affect existing customers? Now, much won't change now, but by acquiring Discover, Capital One will own one of the biggest payment processing networks in the country, competing against Visa, MasterCard, and American Express. Now, a payment processor is essentially a middleman. Basically, the credit card issuer gives the consumer the credit card with the money on the card. You know, they give you credit, the upfront funding, and then you go out, you buy something, you purchase it, and then the payment processor processes that payment and sends that information back to the card issuer, for example, Capital One. And so by acquiring Discover, which is an all-in-one company, they are both a credit card issuer and a payment processing network. They will now have access to both. So they will cut out the middleman, Visa and MasterCard, because Capital One was relying on Visa and MasterCard for payment processing. But once this deal is finalized, they're going to move all of that over to the Discover network, and it is expected to begin to start in Q2 of 2025. Capital One cardholders and over 175 billion in Capital One purchase volume will be expected to add over. Now, this injection in volume in the network will help Discover be competitive with the leading network. Now, this change won't go into effect immediately, but it may impact Capital One debit and credit card holders down the line, especially if they travel abroad. Discover is not as widely accepted as Visa and MasterCard, especially internationally. So that's where you may run into an issue unless they're able to fix that and open up where they are accepted. If you travel a lot internationally, it may be an issue. As far as in the US, there are enough ATMs and branches for you to handle all of your banking needs. Capital One has 259 branches and 55 Capital One cafes. And Capital One also boasts a network of more than 80,000 ATMs, while Discover has more than 60,000. They're still waiting for approval from politicians and regulators, making sure that they're not violating any antitrust laws. And in the meantime, you definitely have options. You have the control here. You can shop around, see which card offers you the best benefits. Do they offer rewards, cash back, travel points, etc. Comparing those to each other to get the best benefit for you. Looking at, do they charge an annual fee? I prefer to stay away from cards that charge an annual fee because that to me is just throwing money away. And also looking at the interest rate. When you first apply, they give you a range of what the interest rate is expected to be, but of course it depends on your credit report, your credit score. But looking at that range, you want to go with the lowest one. Of course, you want to pay your credit card on time to avoid having to pay any interest at all. But things happen, life happens. So if you do have to end up paying interest, you want to pay the lowest rate possible. So shop around, make informed financial decisions, and choose the best option for you. All right, that's all I have in this video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you like this video and you subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.